گوینده اول شخص مفرد اوکی ساختار دو بیتی های متوالی. There's a problem with quatrain sequence poems that Farrokhzad realized halfway through her second volume of verse. Who came up with these quatrain sequence poems? Remember, we have quatrains all over the place in traditional Persian poetry, but we don't have quatrain sequence poems until the 20th century. Who came up with them? The women folk or the men folk? The men folk. Who came up with verse forms in general, with poetic diction in general, with El Ma'aruz? Who came up with all stuff? The men folk. Mm. So Farrokhzad, from the beginning of her career, realized that for her to produce poems with her own signature, her content was going to change. It wasn't going to be Nima Yushij talks about his frustration and does what? He turns the happy person into a turtle, and he's looking at the turtle. He finds something in nature and creates an objective correlative. Farrokhzad just rushes right in. This is what is going on in my life, and here's how I feel about it. The next stage, which Ramide doesn't illustrate. Remember, if you have quatrain sequence poems in perfect meter, in perfect rhyme, how upset can you be? That is, the form suggests that something about the world is in order, even if your content isn't that way. So what does she do? When she gets to the second part of the volume Divar, she starts having unequal lengths in her poems. She's not involved in a Nima Yushij revolution. She's doing her own thing. And then she starts having incomplete or not wholly regular patterns of meter. She starts not having rhyme schemes or irregular rhyme schemes. But the poetry is actually becoming more effective in the communication of experience. So she's using other things in language in order to compensate for these pleasing things that have been part of tradition. There is Vazna Aruzi, there is Qafiye, a lot of repetition of vowels and consonants, that is alliteration and assonance. There is repetition of words, that is expectation fulfillment involves this pleasant feeling we get. Fez, when they repeated a word in the same line or in two lines, they had the word usually have two different meanings. So he's getting involved in iham and other sorts. So negah, negaham, nigorizam, gorizanam. That is the second time we hear one of these words. There's an echo. She's in the crafty business. Estare, tashbih. What is the motive, getting to number 5, what is the motive of friends and acquaintances of the speaker? We don't know, do we? This for me is an aesthetic missing link. I enjoy this text. I have feelings as a result of reading this text, but the feelings are more, you read a newspaper article about a tragedy. You get sad? Yes. You read a poem about a tragedy. Do you get sad because of the tragedy? No, you get sad